So the first thing I'm going to talk about is breathing techniques to deal with bad nerves. Now, guys like Rich and Tommy Alascio, they probably never get bad nerves. But, maybe you do. You phone somebody up for the 10th time. You're wondering, am I going to get through to this person? Am I ever going to get in touch with him or her? I would really like to recruit that person. Or you're doing business development, same issue. And then you might wonder, well, when I get on the phone, am I going to make a good presentation? Am I going to have some luck with this person? And so the phone's ringing, or you get the receptionist, and then you're on hold for a while, and you're feeling nervous. Well, there's a breathing technique that they use in the military called combat breathing or tactical breathing, and it's got a few different variations, but it's simple enough that you can use it while you're actually on the phone. Even if you're talking to somebody, and while the other person is talking, you can use it on your end. And this is how it goes. There's an inhale, then you hold your breath for a second, and then you exhale, okay? Inhale normally, hold your breath for a second, and then exhale, okay? The holding your breath, I think it makes you tense, but just a tiny bit, and then so it gives you a greater release, a relaxation when you exhale. So inhale, hold, exhale, okay? Now, I think even when you're doing something easy like that, it takes a lot of repetition to make it work for you, to make your body respond the way you want it to get in the habit, okay? So don't expect it's going to work for you immediately, okay? There's people who tell you their techniques, you're going to feel it immediately. Okay, maybe. That's not my experience. Now, there's two other forms of this combat breathing I'd like to talk about. One of them, there's no hold. You slow down your breathing, slow and then relaxed, slow and then relaxed. I've seen a number of videos where police are doing it that way. One very exciting video is actually a dashboard cam of a cop who's chasing some criminals at nighttime, and he's getting very agitated, talking to the radio person, and she tells him, "Hey, slow down your breathing," and he does, and he becomes more relaxed, you could tell a bit, and giving her better information. So if you don't like the hold, I like the one with the hold. But if you don't like the hold, you can just slow down your breathing. But you know what? That takes practice too. Everything takes practice. But you have to make it really easy for yourself. Don't make it hard. Make it simple. And I'm saying that now because I'm going to introduce another version of it. And I think this one is not as good for on-the-spot use. I think it's good for practicing when you're not on the phone. And that's, you inhale to a count of 4, you hold your breath to a count of 4, and then you exhale, you release to a count of 4 as well. And you can release through your nose or your mouth, whatever suits you, okay? But here's the thing. If you don't do breathing exercises regularly, even a count of 4, it doesn't sound like much, but it might be hard. So I think all the smart teachers say, look, do what feels good for you. Because if you find it hard, you're going to get tense. The breathing exercise that is supposed to be relaxing you is making you tense. That's not what you want. You want to enjoy it. You want it to give you pleasure so you can practice again. Because if it doesn't work, if it's hard to do, you're never going to practice enough to make it worthwhile. So with this technique, if a count of 2 is better for you, don't worry that it's too little. Do that 2, 2, 2, and you're gonna find it, eventually you're gonna work up to 4. Don't try to do the hardest thing right away. I've made that mistake a million times. I'm not the brightest bulb. Okay. I always think, well, if I do the extreme, I'm going to get more benefit. No, I won't even do the exercise after a while, or I'll hurt myself or something like that. So take it really easy on yourself. There's some other techniques about building habits and things like that. I like the Kaizen. If you ever, there's a guy named Robert Moore, Maurer, and he teaches it. There's some discussions with him on YouTube, and he really stresses, minimal effort is what makes it possible to do something on an extended basis. And I believe that's true. Okay. Now I'm going to mention another breathing technique. Andrew Huberman is a very popular healthcare podcaster these days, huge. And he promotes the psychological sigh. And that's, you inhale twice, and then exhale through your mouth, a longer exhale. Okay. So first you inhale, a bigger inhale, then you do a sniff to get a little more. It's like two sniffs, and then you release. So it's inhale, sniff, release. Okay. Now he says you can do that twice. The very first time you do it, and you're going to notice immediate results. I don't think so. I think the combat breathing is better, but I think this might work if you practice it and do it a lot, right? Now, he says that this has been tested in a lab, okay? So who am I to go against the statistics, his data? But that's just my personal experience. However, it's good to know, and you might like that better. There's another guy who has anxiety disorder. I think I can't remember his name, Russell something or other. He's a medical doctor, and he says he likes that psychological sigh, but he likes doing 3 sniffs. So my point there, and he's a pro, he's an expert as well, and he uses these things himself too, because he's got a problem, and so that tells you that you can experiment with all these breathing techniques. But I think recruiters often need something, especially if you're new at it, to calm you down.